family. My name is Vicki Dillard. Thank you so much for tuning in to my personal channel today for just a brief few moments. I'm going to wait till I see a few people pop on in, but I do have a little bit of ritual that as you come in, be sure to come in, give us a big thumbs up, thumbs up. Be sure to like and to share the broadcast. Yes, for that I say thank you so very much. This is an important conversation that I will not stop having. Some of you probably remember me discussing this since the news initially broke, and I'm going to continue to have this discussion. Why? Because of its relevancy today. Yes, there are a whole lot of national and international issues that are forming that's absolutely inextricably, I believe, connected to what this particular caucus, this legislative caucus, was very likely involved in. And I think there's more that's going on than what they are telling us. Yes, talk black to me, somebody. Yes. So everybody hit that thumbs up button, share, 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 share. Are y'all ready for this quick conversation? Yes. Looks like I'm seeing a couple of people pop on in. I see Potent, Pondering, hey Vicki, hey Precious, Charles, how you doing? And some of the others that's coming on in right now. Family, welcome, welcome, welcome. Come on in with your sister with the curly braids. Hit that thumbs up button and share, share, share. Yes. Also, there's a very important meeting. I decided literally shortly after the news broke that I was going to do another emergency 911 pandemic webinar. How many of you all have been to my previous ones? I've done several over the years. I'm the one that originated that when social media initially started to crack down, specifically and first and foremost from alternative Black media. Now, I know y'all hearing a whole lot of white folks out there now talking about their alternative media and stuff. Child, they just mad. And they doing stuff now. And then you got the Candace Owens, who was all the way anti-Black and pro-white supremacy. White folks threw her away. So now she's acting like the second coming of Christ and stuff, which is fine. Some of the stuff she's saying I think is important and it's good. But, we've been doing this for a long time now. I know y'all, look. So I'm just saying, let's just keep the main thing and stuff. I've always been on this side. And it's up to you all to make sure that you support voices just like mine. I know I'm onto something. I have been onto something for quite a long time. Yes. I know I'm going very fast, family, because I just wanted to pop in very, very quickly. And I very likely will go live again in the next upcoming days. So be sure to look for me, okay? I know some of you are like, Vicki, where have you been? I told you all, I promised that I would not abandon my personal channel here at VickiDillard.tv for years and years like I did when I worked with other networks. I am live Tuesday through Thursday on African Diaspora News Channel, and I give international commentary and national commentary there. So that's where you can see me live, but I will be doing commentary here from time to time on my own channel. Yes, how y'all doing? Hit that thumbs up button, share on the count of 3. Yes, 1, 2, 3, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Now, why am I coming to you really quickly? How many of you all remember? And I want you to recall this, okay? I want you to recall this. I was saying I'm having an upcoming 911 pandemic. The link is above. If you're just tuning in, it's Saturday. Literally, you got about a week. Saturday, it's very affordable. Get your seat. I'm going to be breaking down Robert F. Kennedy. How many of y'all know Robert F. Kennedy just came out and endorsed the MMR vaccine after being a gangster? How many of you all know they're giving him that everlasting work? They're calling him a traitor and a bunch of other stuff because now that he's the HHS secretary, people feel like that the only reason why they supported him in the first place, pushed so hard for him in the first place, was because of his position that he stood on such issues. It doesn't mean that folks are against all of the shots, but it just means that we know that it appears that he has taken a turn. Some folks are trying to justify why he did it, but that's neither here nor there. I've got my 2 cents to add. Yes, Vicki, you are absolutely glowing. Love it. Thank you so much, beloved. I keep hearing people say that. Mika said, you look so good, Vicki. But y'all know I'm gonna say something about y'all know what to do to blow my head up and stop. It's a glow season. Yes, baby, when you make decisions to leave the past and move forward in your life, and you start doing some other little secret stuff, talk black to me, to move forward in your destiny with or without the people that you thought, or places or circumstances, situations, it will make you glow differently. I'm a 46-year-old young Mississippi woman that was born for such a time as this. And the very issues that I talk about, spiritual issues, metaphysical issues, universal issues and principles and keys, national and international news, I was born for this moment, baby. And so this is the reason why I do what I do in the unusual way that's often mocked, but always copied. talk black to me. How many of you all know, and mark your calendars, this is Saturday, April 19th, I am doing an emergency 911 pandemic webinar. I think this is my fifth or sixth one. I think it's my sixth one. I did a couple with Brother Risa Islam a few times. I've done some by myself. I did one with Dr. Rowling. So I think I did a couple with him too. So I'm the one that invented that years ago when I was on a different platform and social media was cracking down, but they were really cracking down on voices like ours because we're the most credible. They were really cracking down. They was trying to censor, demonetize, and all this other kind of stuff. So that's why we asked you to share. That's why we asked you to put stuff out there. Yes. So family, I am doing another one, and I'm going to reveal to you some very unique information that I can probably assure you that some of you all have not heard. Some of you all that have come to my private webinars offline so that I can speak with straight words without any restrictions, you all know it's the best on the planet. I say that because I know that I'm channeling transmissions and information that's coming from a higher unseen source. That's why I can speak so boldly about what I say. I don't need to have a whole bunch of letters in front or behind my name, because when you are a vessel for the divine, what I'm transmitting in that moment automatically overrules man. It automatically overrules the limited knowledge and information that the mere mortals have. Did y'all catch that? How many of you all know that I met, at the time, he was presidential candidate Robert F. Kennedy? Yes? The divine supernaturally connected that. I wasn't invited to the other little folks when they was doing little meetings with him. They didn't invite me to those meetings. Y'all know damn well what it is. But you can leave your sister out if you want to. But the divine supernaturally made it so to where I was one of the handpicked folks that was chosen to come to a more or less intimate meeting here in Colorado. And it was set up to where we were supposed to have all been able to address him. I was not trying to go first, but they forced me to go first. Then they called me up with another gentleman. I asked the gentleman to speak before me, and then they had me talk first. After I spoke, Robert F. Kennedy and his entire team, which some of it was caught on camera, was so shook. That's before he endorsed Trump. That's when he was still running for president. They refused to take any questions or comments from anybody else that was there. And I provided the speech here on my platform here, VickiDillard.tv, and clips on my other social media platforms that are throughout the online media spaces. Yes. Well, I've recently reintroduced some of those clips to remind you all that I was doing the thing before this little latest brouhaha that's taking place with him. Yes. Now, family, very, very quickly, just to give you a little bit of context on what I've been putting out. If you can even go to the community page on YouTube here at VickiDillard.tv, if you go to my social media on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard, right? If you go to my TikTok and all that other stuff, make sure it's verified. Don't be doing the little fakies out there that's trying to be mean. Make sure you see it's verified. It is my legitimate stuff. I'm pulling up something. Hold on, y'all. You'll see where I've been posting receipts about this. Yes. Are y'all hearing me today? Let me get out of this. I don't know what that mess was. Everybody hit that thumbs up button and share. Yes. Okay. So the long and short of it is, he's been in a lot of trouble. And over the past few hours, he's been trying to flip the conversation to autism. How many of you all know that, again, his stance on specifically the MMR vaccine, he has done a complete reversal, right? He's gotten so much pushback over that, right? If you all don't know what I'm talking about, I was one of the first ones to break this news. This is from the Wall Street Journal. Y'all see this headline? So you'll know what I'm talking about. I've been posting similar similar articles on the community page. That's why I brought up my social media. Are y'all listening? Let me just give you a little bit of context before I start talking about the Congressional Black Caucus funny looking self. Now, this Wall Street Journal piece says the MAHA, which is Make America Healthy Again. Remember, that's what Robert F. Kennedy said he wants to do, is make America healthy again. The MAHA turns on RFK Jr. over measles vaccine stance. Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s response to the outbreak has drawn criticism from both serious scientists and his most loyal supporters. You hear that? From serious scientists and his most loyal supporters. Yes? And I know I was one of the first ones to cover it. Terry says, share, share, share. Thank you, beloved. Somebody's asking for my Cash App. It's in the description, fam, whoever's asking about the Cash App. But the main thing I want you all to focus on today is make sure that you get your seat for my webinar Saturday. Get your seat. It's very affordable, but this high level knowledge that I give, baby, you want to be there. If you want to know how it is that the divine set it up for me to directly confront the Robert F. Kennedys of the world, if you want to know why White House officials officially know about Vicki Dillard and sought to block me in more ways than one, if you want to know why literal CNN folks and literal MSNBC folks and other high-profile individuals don't like me and have contacted us, me and my team directly upset about something little old Vicki's saying, it's about my energy and my power that they're afraid will influence the masses using alternative media, using a laptop. Talk black to me, somebody. You got to understand power in its incipiency. In its incipiency, you have to understand power when it's in a fetal, when it's like a fetus. You see, the problem is y'all waiting for somebody to blow up like an Oprah when we're rejecting Oprah. The problem is when you look to the Barack Obamas of the world and then nobody listens to him when it comes to election. The problem is when you was listening to the Joy Reids and the Angela Ryes and the Tiffany Krause, they're all fired from their corporate cable jobs. Simone Sanders helped Bernie Sanders. She thought she was going to be press secretary. Little Vicki Dillard in the corner prophesied, ma'am, that's never going to happen. How many of y'all know who left the White House not being the press secretary after being a football player, after being a Bronco? For the White House. Broncos don't go with the White House. If you don't know what I'm talking about, look it up later. Do y'all understand? You don't need to sit there and say, well, she thinks she. No. Who lost the election for the presidency? Who lost the election for the Senate? Who lost the election for the House of Representatives? So your bootlicks that was pushing the Democrats, nobody listened to them. They listened to us. Do y'all understand? I got to keep saying that because some of y'all get confused. And then you want to second guess Vicki in a way that you know you would never second guess them. That's not where real power lies. And because you don't recognize it, you will dismiss it. And you'll still give them a level of credibility. And you'll still give your open enemy, who is a liar, the benefit of the doubt. And you ain't got no business giving them the benefit of the doubt. They were liars before social media came up. They got us in illegal wars. They dissed us. They weren't being a voice for Black America then. Fool, they weren't even talking to us. How y'all doing? Y'all hit that thumbs up button, share, share, share. Are y'all listening? So get your seat for August 19th and make that very small and affordable investment to hear what I have to say, because I'm going to break down to you the stuff they don't want said on these platforms. And I provide you with physical and spiritual solutions to actually do something about it. But you can't do something about it first if you don't have the necessary knowledge to know what's really going on and to break yourself from this matrix. They're not smarter than me. When you're looking at a Vicki Dillard, you're looking at the oldest human being on the planet, the original woman. The devils that are in place now that have control over the levels of power are the newest people on our planet that screwed up the world. They're not smarter than me. You see how they go? They're not. And I got to shake and break some of you nut jobs out there that keep leaning on their wisdom and understanding. Their time is up. We didn't rule the world the way in which they're ruling the world. Do you understand? Do you understand? Do you understand? Saturday, August 19th. The link is above, or go to my website at VickiPlan.com. Get back to this, Vicki. What is this website? What is this webinar going to be about? This VIP war room session? I'm going to be exposing my direct conversation with RFK, which I made a lot of that public already since last year. But there's something that some of you all perhaps don't know and didn't pay a lot of attention to. I'm going to play you some after clips of what took place when he fled after I was done with him. Did y'all hear what I said right there? Do you all see that Sybil, original ancient Black Vatican energy? That's what the powers that shouldn't be don't like. It's the energy. It's not because I said what Vicki said. I be saying that too. Sit your funny looking self down. Back to the headline. I'm going to be exposing Robert F. Kennedy. Y'all see this? Maha, right? Let's go back to this. This is Wall Street Journal, because I know y'all like for me to quote white journal, white papers to make it official, till I can break you out and scream and holler and break you from the crack that is white. That's white people. The white powder instead of the white drug powder. It's white people opinions that you lean on. So I have to give you a little of the crack and then snatch it back. Because you be getting the shakes and stuff. But they are liars. One of my people reminded me recently, I posted this on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. One of my people reminded me, she said, Vicki, you've been called this about him. She said, because they lie. And she said, they lie when they parallel park. How many of y'all remember when I used to say that? I said, well, you got to understand your open enemy shined up. Presidents, people that run the medical industry, the pharmaceutical industry, the military, Wall Street, all of them, right? Education, arts and entertainment, the religious system and all of them. How many of y'all know that when they lie, it's just not like a regular lie? If they brushing their teeth, it's a lie brushing your teeth. It's a lie toothbrush. It's a lie toothpaste. It's a lie floss. It's a lie mouthwash. How many of y'all know when they park and they going out to dinner, it's a lie parking. It's a lie parallel parking. Don't let me somebody. When they brushing their hair, it's a lie brushing your hair. When they out there playing golf, it's a golf lie. Because they are not just lying, they are liars. That means that their DNA, they makeup, their nature is lying. And y'all love a liar. These are not people that just tell a lie. They made up of lie, the essence of lie, crystallized, embodied lie. When they sneeze, it's a lie sneeze. Talk back to me, somebody. When they hiccup, it's a hiccup lie. Y'all see how that goes? Yes, I believe in getting my nails and toes and stuff done. But when they there and I see one or two of them getting, baby, it's a lie nails done, lie tips, lie fingernail polish, lie, come on, lie pedicure, lie massages, lie treadmill, lie t-shirt, lie lottery ticket. Just la. So don't ever get that mixed up. Keep that in the front of your mind, because some of y'all be tricked to believe, oh, what if they say it? But so-and-so said, trick. What did Vicki say? Fool. The mitochondria draws back to the ancient Black woman for all peoples, Iranians, Iraqis, Indians, the $5 ones and otherwise. White people, Hispanic people, Asian people, they come back to me, fool. So the jump off version that you are, I'm reversing that. I'm retrofitting that. I'm going back to the ancient. I'm going back to ruling my worlds. And I'm going back to telling you what to do the way I tell you what to do about it. So when people be seeing that footage of me talking to RFK and people saying, Vicki, you did what even other people in your space would never do. I'm the mama. Hell no, something that's a throw off for me, make me scared. God today. I'm telling you what to do. It's a new day. You got the world in shambles. Sit down, boy. Look, girl. This is my world. You're not smarter than me. You're not more powerful than me. And let's be clear, it was always ours. Somebody put a globe in the chat. Somebody put a map in the chat. Just kind enough to share the planet with your funny looking self. And now that the divine has done what they needed to do, baby, your time is coming to an end to rule. Have you all noticed that whenever you hear the so-called international global experts, they don't never have nobody black up there talking? You must be out of your freaking mind. Let me tell you all something. The ancients prophesied something. You know what one of the ancient texts says? It says, not many wise men after the flesh, not many noble, but the divine has chosen the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. I said, it's written that the divine has chosen to use the foolish things of the world to confound the wise. Yes, a country girl from Mississippi will tell your punk, you know what to do. You done screwed up our world enough. And if you listen to somebody over me and you're leaning to what they say more, they are only so good. They're only good insofar as they can tell me the details of the mess making and the devilment they've been doing. Other than that, I get to decide once I take in all the facts and stuff, how we finna move forward. Not you. When it comes down to the big decisions, that you don't see black folks up there. They have you up there when they shoot or kill one of us. They want your opinion when they want you to go vote for Kamala, or Joe Biden funny looking self. Other than that, you don't hear them having you up there talking about no economy and what's going on internationally. But baby, it's a new day. I said it's a new day. And I'm going to rule it my way. And now all the complications you got going on and then jacked up the world. Vicki, what so-and-so said this about you. Are you worried? You better be worried about what I think about you, fool. That's what you ought to be worried about. Somebody said Mississippi the real deal. You better tell them. It's a new day. And I'm talking to you, black family, because I want you to act like it. I want you to know that you're more than what meets the eye. They got systems in place, language, jargon, rules, and regulations that we don't even have to submit to. Be aware of it, yes. Because you will be your fool not to know the weapons of your open enemy. So yes, have an understanding of the weaponry and how your enemy moves. But damn it, we're not going to adopt what you do. They got their secret societies in the Illuminati. In fact, Vicki be throwing her hands up. What was that symbol she was making? Fool, you don't sit your crazy. You don't sit your crazy nut, fool. I got to be careful now about me getting excited because you scared I'm going to throw something. You don't sit your crazy. If you know what it is, damn it, tell the whole world what it is since you know, weirdo. Charlie said I'm crying. Y'all look and sound crazy. What was that? That was profound what Vicki said, but what was that symbol that she made? Fool, if you know, tell the world what it is, dummy. When y'all go to talk about the stuff that the enemy does, that means that you have a greater faith in what they do. I said, whenever you are talking all the time about the little secret stuff that they're doing, that means that you don't have any faith in our ancient powers. That means you have a greater fear and belief and reverence in what they can do instead of the original people of the planet. Yes, we've forgotten a lot of stuff. Yes, we don't remember a lot of stuff. And yes, we demonize our own ancient black practices. Shout out to our beautiful moderator, my brother, First Works Media. Sit yo. Please tell them to sit yo. Y'all be mocking me with the sit yo. I don't even know why I started that. Jeez Louise. But it's the truth. You better sit down. You finna get the world ruled like a mama, a black mama does it. Y'all be tripping me out. You come from a black woman and then you start smelling yourself. That's a phrase from Mississippi. We know we the ancient of days. So we don't have no problem letting your funny looking self shine. You want to just act like the woman that birthed you and created everything there is? It's just like, oh, that's just side. Let me go. But you don't sit your weird, funny looking. You ain't even got the codes, dummy. You don't even know what to target at, what to hit. You don't even know what to hit. You don't even know what to hit. You don't even know which direction to go in. You don't even know what to do, what to say, how to do it. You got all these power and degrees and all this stuff, don't even know what to do with it. Jumping it all up, just jacked it all up. Don't even know how to make it go together. And so because I do it so seamless and it seems so country, you want to dismiss it. Fool. How many of y'all know that the person that invests in diamonds in its original stage know better than you? It don't look valuable in this original state, but because you too blind and dumb to notice it and to see it, that's how you lose, loser. That's how you lose, loser, loser. Who is this? Where is the love? Your gift is blessed 1,000-fold, precious. I was trying to read your hand, precious. Y'all out there excited. Somebody wants you on their little platform and stuff. I ain't gonna say who name, but one of these you little financial groups out there, these little business, little people that got big platforms. So y'all be so happy that they invite you to the White House. Now you can't even get in it like that. It's not so certain now with Trump. You embrace a devil that gets us in illegal wars. Don't give us reparations. Give us the middle finger. But a Vicki Dillard, I ain't gonna like on her post. Ninja be sitting back, be looking at it though for inspiration and for life. But if they call me up there, I'm going smiling hard. And I'm going to put it out there like it's a level up. Fool, you ain't doing nothing revolution. Sit your. I'll let you know when you done hit. You ain't hit nothing. You ain't hit. There ain't no hit, fool. That ain't no hit. So-and-so want me. So-and-so celebrity, so-and-so want me. Bitch, don't sit your weird, funny looking. They don't have jobs today, though. They don't have jobs. Joy Reid does not have a job. Tiffany, Angela, Don Lemonade. Simone is a linebacker. Somebody put a football in the chat. Kamala lost. That Brahmin lady lost. She didn't win. You told us to vote. You said she was going to win. She didn't win. Some of y'all favorite spiritualists that y'all put on them platforms, y'all put them out there. They promised us and gave us all the cards and the charts and all their spirits and stuff, told them that she was going to win. She didn't win. Oh, somebody put a football in the chat. Weirdos. Think you know more than me, but you don't. Your whole world about to fall in on you. Funny looking self. Get back to this, Vicki. Lord have mercy. I was supposed to read this article. Watch this. Back to this, because I know I done forgot what I was supposed to. This the article. Look. So the other day I broke this news already. MAHA, which means Make America Healthy Again. That's RFK's little things now that he's HHS secretary, right? Somebody said Don Lemon is the bottom man. Please don't talk about nothing dealing with him, because my imagination be doing too much with him. I be trying to protect my mind. Watch this. So what does it say? What did it say? Just so y'all, in case y'all missed this. Again, follow me on Instagram at Vicki X Dillard. Follow me on TikTok. I am Vicki Dillard. all the places, but just make sure it's verified that you're not following the little fakies that's out there trying to be me. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. is confronting his first disease outbreak as Health and Human Services Secretary. His response to the spread of measles in and beyond Texas has managed to alarm serious scientists while also drawing criticism from his Make America Healthy Again movement. On Sunday, Kennedy endorsed the measles, mumps, and rubella vaccine known as the MMR shot amid an outbreak that has resulted in the deaths of 2 children and sickened hundreds of people. He reiterated that people should get the vaccine during a CBS interview this week. Now, for those of you all don't know, he was in an interview not too long ago, and they specifically asked him exactly about the measles vaccine, and they asked him would he give it to his children. He said no. He went so far as to talk about how he grew up with all his 11 siblings, how they all got the measles and they was all okay. He broke down exactly why he specifically said no to that. And so everybody feels like he folded and that he tricked them out, right? Well, I'm trying to let you all know there's more to it than that. And in my confrontation with him, not only did I confront him about reparations for Black folks because he was against it, I not only confronted him about the Palestinian murder and genocide by the Israelis for the Zionists there, for which he is a Zionist himself. I confronted him about that. But there's some other stuff that we talked about. We're going to emphasize it as I expose him Saturday, April 19th. The link is above. Don't miss it. I'm going to talk about that. And how many of y'all know Vicki will always come with the receipt spiritually and naturally? Yes? Somebody asked for my Cash App. Can somebody please put the Cash App in for the people? But the link is above on where you register to save your seat. Yes, it's a last minute thing. I literally, when it broke, I told my team, let's do it. Because for me, I don't do stuff just about whether or not I got weeks to promote it and get a big audience and all that. No, I have to do what Spirit tells me to do. So that's why I'm doing it at the last minute. Yes, thank you, brother. The link is there. My brother, First Work Media, my brother Warren, he's in the chat. So family, that's where you need to get your seat today. Yes, it's going to be receipt after receipt after receipt. Y'all ain't going to believe what I'm going to talk about. I was actually getting ready to do a series related to RFK before this news broke. I lie not. I don't have to. I was literally about to discuss some things related to him. Now, folks are sitting here telling me about what other folks on other platforms are saying about him, but they late to the stuff. That's fine because it's still important they talk about it. But I'm saying what I'm gonna bring out is much different. It's the stuff that's censored online, which is why we have to do a lot of the stuff offline. Yes. Watch this. Looking beautiful, sister, as usual. Thank you so much. The house of what is that? El Sara, I'm just blinking all hard. Y'all, watch this. Get back to the article, Vicki. So, y'all, that's the issue with him, right? Now, let's get back to today's headline. Why am I discussing the Congressional Black Caucus? How many of y'all remember about it's been almost 2 years ago now, less than that. How many of y'all know that before October 7th, 2023, when Israel started escalating their murderous genocide against the Palestinian people? Because how many of y'all know Israel been over there killing the people for all them decades? Israel, who has no business being there, they're the occupiers according to international law. I know some of y'all don't believe in keeping up with international stuff, but according to the UN, according to international law, Israel is considered to be occupiers. Y'all do know that, right? How many of y'all know there are rules and regulations that occupiers are supposed to do and not do? How many of y'all know that? How many of y'all know that Israel had the Palestinian people long before this and effectively is what many have been calling an open air prison? How many of y'all know that? So when they claim on October 7th, when they said the Hamas attacked them, baby, as I've said many times before, when you break into somebody's house and that person decides to shoot you in the stomach, you don't get to say, well, you could have shot me in the arm. You weren't supposed to be here. You see how they go? You're supposed to be here. This is not your land. This is not your property. You don't supposed to be here. So you don't get to sit there and talk about all the rights that you have when you're supposed to be here. You see how they go? Come back to me, somebody. Somebody said, no neck Roland Martin don't talk about this. You know they don't talk about this. You got that exactly right. That tells you everything that you need to know. Yes? Hey, Miss Pamela, I see you serious. Well, what is Vicki talking about? How many of y'all know that in September 2023, what is that? Okay, so that's been what, a year and a half, yeah? And some change ago, right? Somebody say before October 7th. How many of y'all know September 3rd is a month before October 7th? Are y'all with me? How many of y'all know shortly after this broke, Vicki was doing back-to-back videos on this very issue? What issue? What does it say? What does this headline say? Thank you, Brother Warren, for putting my cash up in the chat. He put it in the chat for those of you that are asking. Do y'all see this headline? I said, do you all see this headline? Now look at the picture. This is the picture I keep posting left and right on all my platforms. Y'all see that? Now, before Joy Reid was fired, she wasn't talking about this. Not in any serious way. None of your Black voices were talking about this in a very serious way or even at all for most of them, right? When I first came across this, it was because I was pulling up an Israeli newspaper before I even saw this here. Do y'all hear me today? It was an Israeli newspaper. Is where I first learned this information. Are y'all listening? Whoever said that, you exactly right. Malcolm. I mean, no. Narmer X, you're exactly right, beloved. Y'all see this headline, right? Netanyahu welcomes Black Democratic Congress members as he angles for White House invite. Now, some of you all say to yourself, what do you mean as he angles for White House invite? How many of y'all know that Joe Biden, which was practically out of his mind at the time, and Kamala Harris was vice president, which we know she's fumbling, bumbling and stuff. How many of y'all know that headline doesn't seem like it makes a lot of sense? How is the headline saying Netanyahu welcomes Black Democratic Congress members as he angles for White House invite? Did Vicki make up that headline? Where am I thinking Black people at? Vicki talked about this a couple of times, right? What did Vicki talk about? Let me give, for those of you that are not familiar with this, I'm going to explain to you. Listen. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with 10 members of the Congressional Black Caucus as he tries to improve his standing with the Biden administration and among Democrats. The meeting Sunday in Jerusalem was part of a visit sponsored in part, wait for it, by the American, somebody put the acronyms in the chat for me, by the American Israeli. Herbert, your gift is blessed 1,000-fold. Herbert is always given to my Cash App. Y'all listening? The meeting Sunday in Jerusalem was part of a visit sponsored in part by the American Israel Education Foundation, an affiliate, y'all listening, of the American Israel Public Affairs Committee. How many of y'all know that stands for AIPAC? It came as some U.S. Democrats are keeping their distance from Netanyahu because of his government's efforts to sap the power of Israel's judiciary. Come here, class. Come here, class. Why does Vicki keep talking about this since this broke? And nobody's talking about it but Vicki, hardly. Because they'll sit here and tell you that people that don't want to meet with Israel and all that stuff, that they're anti-Semitic, right? Right? How many of y'all know the White House, the Democrats, and as quiet as it kept, some of the Republicans were keeping their distance, even under the Biden administration early on, from Netanyahu. Because, what did it just say? It says because of Netanyahu's government's efforts to sap the power of Israel's judiciary. What is the judiciary? It's the courts. What mainstream media wasn't showing Americans is that almost every week, Israelis, lily white Israelis, those that believe in genocide and killing their neighbors, they were out protesting against Netanyahu. The country ain't but a few million people, but numbers have been upwards of 100,000 some people, which is a large number of people, a good portion of their population, consistently, every single week, against Netanyahu. The judiciary is the courts. He was trying to overhaul the courts because how many of you all know, and you probably did, many of you, if you're not going to my stuff, if you're not following me, if you're not going to my webinars, my private webinars, if you're not a part of my school, if you're not paying attention to my posts, and if you're not listening to me here from time to time, you wouldn't know that Netanyahu has 3 criminal cases against him. He kept getting it delayed for the past few years. He's been involved with corruption and corruption charges for many, many, many years. He has been delaying going to court because he's afraid that he's going to be behind bars and no longer prime minister. Are y'all listening? Mainstream white American media Why wouldn't they show you? They claim that they love Israel, but how come they're not showing you that a lot of his population turned against him? They've been in the streets for over a year and some change at that time, almost every single week protesting against him to get out of office. They are saying that he's threatening their own country. Did y'all know that? He was trying to overhaul the judiciary, the courts there. Watch this. So Netanyahu was supposed to have appeared to court for his 3 criminal trials. He kept getting delayed. Guess what? The White House knew he was in so much trouble, which is why the media is complicit with this, because the media didn't cover it to let you all know that your dollars are going over there, not only billions and billions every year since almost their entire existence. Not only we're supporting the genocide and a whole bunch of other stuff with them folks over there, but they wanted to keep it quiet that this country that they claim is the only democracy in the Middle East, which they ain't got no business being there no way because they invading lands that don't belong to them. And then acting the fool and killing and stealing and destroying on the land that you done stole. America wanted us to believe that Israel is more than what they are. So that's why the media never covered to let you all know what was going on over there for a long time. So because Biden was pissed at Netanyahu, because Netanyahu, America uses Israel to commit murders and assassination and to steal, kill, and destroy other nations and people around the world. Y'all know that, right? That's why they don't have no constitution. How many of y'all know Bobby Hemmett? Remember Bobby Hemmett, the great Bobby Hemmett? Some of y'all think that he was just some metaphysical spiritual teacher. No, baby. How many of y'all know that in his lectures, he used to talk about Israel, and he said, we call them the state of Israel because he said that they are he basically considered them to be a 51st state of the United States of America. Are y'all listening? Are y'all listening? Nevertheless, why am I talking about this? Joe Biden and mainstream media kept quiet all the drama that's going on in Israel because they didn't want you to know that the people they claim is the only democracy and the only upstanding country in the Middle East, which we know that's a damn lie. But just nevertheless, they wanted us to keep this rosy image. Netanyahu kept digging his heels in. He was pissing off Joe Biden, the Democrats, and like I said, as quiet as it kept, including the Republicans. Y'all didn't hear the Republicans calling Joe Biden anti-Semitic because he wouldn't meet with Netanyahu at the time. The Republicans were pissed because they felt like that this ninja is out there putting them out there. They knew he was doing too much. They knew he was too dirty. He was messing up the whole genocidal operation. So they wanted him to at least sacrifice himself and step down. Get out the way. Stop what he was doing with the courts. He wouldn't. That's why you see, this is telling you that the White House wouldn't even meet with Netanyahu. But nowadays, if you say that you don't want to fool with Israel about what they're doing over there, they'll tell you anti-Semitic. Shouldn't the Republicans and the Democrats and Joe Biden and the rest of them be anti-Semitic too? How come mainstream media wasn't reporting to you all that a month before October 7th, that he couldn't even get a meeting with the president? And why is that? It's little Vicki Dillard over there talking about it. Are y'all listening? What did it say? Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu met with 10 members of the Congressional Black Caucus as he tries to improve his standing with the Biden administration among the Democrats and among Democrats. Y'all listening? The meeting Sunday in Jerusalem was part of a visit. I already told you it was sponsored by an affiliate of what? AIPAC, right? I'm skipping. The delegation was led by Representative Lucy McBath, a Georgia Democrat, the black lady is in the middle, whose son was was assassinated, was murdered, not assassinated, was killed by police. Y'all remember her. That's how she became a congresswoman. She was an advocate for her son after his passing, and then they pushed her to become a congresswoman. Are y'all listening? It says that the delegation was led by Representative Lucy McBath, a Georgia Democrat whose suburban Atlanta district includes a substantial Jewish population. And Representative Nikema Williams, a Georgia Democrat who co-chairs the Congressional Caucus on Black-Jewish relations. Yes, Vicki gonna keep talking about this. And no, I'm not gonna stop until I'm ready. From the outset of the meeting, Netanyahu emphasized his commitment to bipartisan U.S. support for Israel. Quote, it's an opportunity to cement our relationship, which is always based on the bipartisan relationship between Israel and both sides of the House and both sides of the Senate, he said. according to the text released by his office. It's very important for us, and I view this meeting as an important building block in this relationship. Are y'all listening? The Israeli prime minister has so far failed to secure. Y'all don't think they can make this up? I don't have to make it up. Every time I tell y'all something that's real news, a lot of y'all say, why ain't mainstream talking about it? Because they liars, fool. Lie teleprompters, lie phones, lie iPads, lie nails, lie ring, lie marriage, lie degrees, lie. Back to this. The Israeli prime minister has so far failed to secure a White House meeting with President Joe Biden, who has made clear his unhappiness. Screenshot it so y'all don't think Vicki making this up. Y'all see it? Joe Biden, who has made clear his unhappiness with Netanyahu's far-right government and plans to overhaul Israel's court system. The White House has said the two leaders will encounter each other later this month when both men attend the UN General Assembly, but has studiously avoided confirming claims by Netanyahu's officials that there will be a White House meeting. So y'all propaganda works like that. So when Netanyahu couldn't even get a meeting with the President of the United States, other Democrats were keeping their distance. And as I mentioned to you before, the Republicans were too, but they were doing it more quietly. Y'all didn't hear the Republicans come out against Joe Biden on that then. Y'all didn't hear them coming out because they were all really trying to pressure him because they felt like that if he didn't sacrifice himself, he's going to put the whole Israeli genocidal machine in jeopardy. So they wanted him to step down because he was too toxic. And the whole nation was turning against him, not just one or two. Do y'all understand that? I was covering it. Joyless Reed wasn't. Donna Lemonade didn't. Don Lemonade. Lemon. Watch this. In war, family, because he couldn't get media war, because how many of y'all know it starts first with the war of words? How many of y'all know that because Joe Biden was refusing to meet with him, there was this UN meeting that took place, and that's what they call having meetings on the sidelines, right? When there's international meetings and other such meetings, such convocations and summits and so forth, when world leaders like to meet at what they call sidelines meetings. Well, Joe Biden in the White House refused to confirm that they were going to do that. Well, even if he told Netanyahu, I'm not promising you, I'm still refusing to meet with you. How many of y'all know that Netanyahu's propagandist folk over there, they'll put out a statement saying we're supposed to meet, even if Joe Biden didn't say they was going to meet, because that's a way for them to put pressure and to affect the public perception. You all understand that's how they lie. That's why they lie. All of them lie. Kamala lied, Biden lied, Trump lying behind. Netanyahu lied. The Knesset is a lie. Do y'all understand? I'm skipping. AIPAC has in recent months been aggressively pushing, that's a spelling thing on their part because that's how they wrote it, been pushing back against claims by rival J Street that it is losing support among Democrats and progressives because its political action committee affiliates back pro-Trump Republicans election deniers in the last election. It goes on with a whole bunch of other stuff that don't make no sense. It says the delegation, it talks about how they're going to continue to Rwanda. It talks about other parts of their trip. It says Williams told the Atlanta Journal-Constitution last week that the theme of the visit was recovery from genocide, saying in the delegation that they would study the two countries as they go. They try to throw in Rwanda to justify why they was going there. Are y'all listening? Why am I bringing this up? I'm just giving you the basics. How many of you all know I'm not sure what you're talking about, Latasha. Maybe you're talking to somebody in the chat, but y'all listen to what I'm saying. I'm bringing this broadcast up because I'm going to show you a connection to some of these folks in RFK. And in fact, you hear me specifically bring that up to RFK in my address to him last year when he was still running for president, and I met with him, right? Well, some of you may or may not know that the Israelis are known for making technology that snoops on and surveillance other countries. How many of you all know that a part of the reason why they kept murdering the people in Gaza and the West Bank and all that, is because they were using some of their weapons. They were using that to also try out their weapons that they would sell to the rest of the world. So when the rest of the world would see how well their weapons would work on murdering innocent people, that would get them to line up to buy weapons from Israel. How many of y'all know that was a part of why they were doing that? Watch this. In addition, they make technology there in Israel that snoops on people. They got little funny looking software and all kinds of stuff that they do, not only to snoop on people, to surveillance people, but how many of you all know also that some of the stuff that they are said to have done when they would assassinate, when Israel would creatively assassinate and kill people? How many of y'all know that it was Israel that was tied back to them for putting stuff in people's phone pagers recently? How many of you all know that they were tied to killing someone by putting poison in the man's toothpaste? That's them. America's little dog. They little attack dog. Do y'all understand? So when we keep talking about when we were the only one in the whole wide world that covers for Israel at the UN, when America continues to do for Israel what no other country does, other countries support them, but not like we do. That's because we hide behind them. When you look at geopolitical history, even other countries, other nations, that America looked like we were clean in so that we could look like we were abiding by international law, we would use Israel to do the dirty work. Y'all understand it, right? There are some other connections that I draw in my offline webinars that shows the connection to them in the pandemic that the public, many in the public, not all, but many in the public are not aware of, with receipts. That's why I talk about a lot of stuff offline. Are y'all listen to me? If you think for 1 second that former presidential candidates are not aware of this, you are out of your mind. That's why I'm talking about this offline. Get your seat. Click the link above. Why am I talking about the Congressional Black Caucus today in this context? I brought up that about how Israel does a little surveillance and things. They hack into people's stuff. They use technology. They use all kinds of stuff to creatively destroy folks. They're not as strong as you think. So that's the reason why they get rid of the heads of certain groups and all that. The reason why they haven't been able to get rid of Hamas family. The reason why they can't put down Hezbollah like they want to. Now they in trouble after they done kicked out Assad in Syria. Now they tripping with Syria. Child, everything they do is just toxic. But then you'll hear about some top leader that they took out. How many of y'all know that's the reason why Donald Trump has arrest warrants out for him from Iran and from, what is it? Iraq, I believe. How many of y'all know it said that Marco Rubio has a warrant out for his arrest, I think, from one of the Asian countries? I speculate that's one of the reasons why Trump not only wanted to become president for his own other nefarious reasons, business reasons, his buddies and all that. But when Trump was in office the first time, how many of y'all know his Jewish son-in-law went over there? He put him in charge of his Middle Eastern policy and did business deals that he still benefited from after he was out. How many of y'all know it's possible that if Iran and other Middle Eastern countries got warrants out for Trump's arrest? Why? Because Trump was secretly using the military to assassinate illegally top leaders over there. They do that to make the resistance afraid, but they can't get rid of the resistance. So they pick and choose certain ones to take out to make everyone, if they can get this one, they can get the rest. No, they haven't been able to take out the others. Why am I bringing all this up about surveillance and all that? Listen to me. This is the kind of stuff I talk about offline. Watch this. He could not even get a meeting with Joe Biden. The Democrats would not meet with him. Other cabinet members and other bureaus and agencies would not meet with Netanyahu to try to pressure him to take his tail out of office because he was putting the whole Israeli genocidal stuff into jeopardy. They knew he was bringing too much attention to his government. He refused to step down. Nobody would meet with him, but who? The coons that are supposed to be representing our very black selves. They managed to get the Congressional Black Caucus members to come to Israel 1 month before October 7th. I told you Netanyahu was trying to prevent him from going to court over those criminal cases that was pending against him. He was able to delay it and delay it. One of the things he kept doing to stall it out, once October 7th happened, it stopped his criminal trials. As we speak, he's supposed to be in criminal court right now. He had to end up leaving a few days ago out of one of his trials because two of his closest aides was arrested. I think it was last Monday. Go to my Instagram page. I think I posted about it. For a whole other separate issue. A whole other scandal. Why are you bringing all this up, Vicki? Please make sense of this. Watch this. Have you all ever wondered when Anthony Blinken, the former Secretary of State, just a few months ago under the Biden administration, do y'all know that former Secretary of State Anthony Blinken made a whole bunch of unprecedented trips in person to Israel? Have you all ever wondered why is it that since October 7th, he made all those trips in person, using up all our money to do it? Can I tell you they're concerned about other governments being able to surveillance and hack and spy into their conversations? I want the Congressional Black Caucus investigated. And I'm not going to talk about the details why. I'm literally throwing this out here so I can go further later. Because I want to know, did the Congressional Black Caucus, at a time when even Joe Biden refused to meet with Netanyahu, at a time when white Republicans and Democrats wasn't even fooling with Netanyahu like that, especially the Democrats, at a time where he could not get his so-called closest country ally, who pays him billions of dollars every year and give him billions of dollars in weapons, nobody would meet with him to pressure his criminal tail to get out of office. Only the bootlicks, only the coons showed up. Only the mammies, the ancient mamas, the shuckers and jivers showed up. They supposed to be doing your black business, but they fighting for immigrants and going over there to meet with who the international courts now considered to be basically a war criminal. How many of y'all know that Netanyahu got an arrest warrant out for his arrest from the international courts? But your Congress just open arms, just welcome him here. They supposed to be arresting him, but they welcomed him. Watch this. Why is Vicki bringing up the Congressional Black Caucus? I want you all to make this demand too, including this Atlanta woman. Who did I just say? Miss McBath. Remember, she's the one that led the delegation, right? The delegation was led by Representative Lucy McBath, a Georgia Democrat, it says, whose suburban Atlanta district includes a substantial Jewish population, and Representative Nakima Williams, a Georgia Democrat who co-chairs the Congressional Caucus in Black-Jewish Relations. I want them investigated. Why? They went there in person. I want to know, did they pass sensitive information and communications to them, to Joe Biden? How many of y'all know they were desperately trying to get Joe Biden, somebody from the White House, anybody from America to jump on board with him? He was afraid. 1 month later, October 7th happened. How many of you all know the evidence showed, there's credible evidence that shows that Netanyahu and his government knew that Hamas was getting ready to strike, but they wanted it to happen on purpose so that the people could rally around him, because remember, his whole people were rising up against him, remember? Remember, I just told you for a year at least, droves, a large portion of the population every single week was protesting against him to get his tail out. And many believe that he would be behind bars, of course, once his criminal trial goes on, because he's been involved in criminal stuff for a long time. Nobody would meet with him at the Congressional Black Caucus in person. Now, they don't come visit you. They don't bring in the Vicki Dillards, and they damn sure haven't sat down to talk with me about our demands for reparations. What the hell are they doing going over to Israel for? Working with the people that we can trace, who trains our military in tactics that some have credibly said are responsible for the murder or the injury of foundational Black Americans. Y'all do know that your law enforcement goes over there to Israel for training, and you know that Mossad type folks come over here to the United States and train your law enforcement agencies on local, state, and federal level. Y'all know that, right? I want them investigated because I want to know what sensitive information or communications passed to the Congressional Black Caucus to give to Joe Biden, so they could bypass any possible hacking from any other governments or interested agents or actors. And it happened 1 month before October 7th, when there's credible reason to believe that Netanyahu knew that they were going to strike, and he intentionally wanted Hamas to strike so that he could justify going to war, thus further delaying his criminal cases, thus getting the sympathy of the United States. How many of y'all know Joe Biden went from ignoring him? The Democrats went from ignoring him. The Republicans, low-key, went from ignoring him, distancing themselves from him, to Joe Biden made a personal trip to Israel right after that happened. This is the kind of stuff your girl breaks down on the webinars offline. Get your seat for April 19th when I expose RFK, and y'all gonna be like, what in the world do they have to do with it? You're gonna see. The Congressional Black Caucus ain't doing nothing for black folks, but they out here doing stuff for Israelis. When the former Israeli consulate, this funny looking woman right here, Judith Varney Shore, this thing right here, this was the lady that was secretly caught on camera a few years ago saying that the threat to her country, Israel, were Black American youth. Not Black American, not blacks, not Africans, not the Black diaspora. She specifically said Black folks in the United States, our babies in the United States, is a threat to her country. We got it on tape. I've done multiple broadcasts about it. Did the Congressional Black Caucus demand a hearing for our so-called closest allies? And why is it that they are targeting a large portion of American population and say that they're an enemy, they're the problem for their country? But they twitch, they little chocolate hips at a time when even the Yankees wouldn't meet with them. But no Yankee meet with them. But the coons gonna go over there and meet. You can only imagine where I'm going to take this offline. So no, we're not going to let the Congressional Black Caucus get away with this. I need you all to be tagging them. I need you all to be emailing them. I need you all to be writing them. I need you all to show up at their meetings and demand that not only that there be a hearing about anti-Blackness from our so-called closest Zionist allies over there that said that we're the threat to their country, but we're demanding that the Congressional Black Caucus, who's supposed to be representing us, give us a full recording under oath, damn it, about what they talked about and answer whether or not they passed sensitive information for this fool at a time when even Joe Biden wouldn't even meet with them. The Democrats in general wouldn't meet with them. And some of the Republicans were keeping their distance from them. And then lo and behold, 1 month after he met with the Congressional Black Caucus, voila, October 7th hits and Hamas attacks. And based on credible investigations, it shows overwhelming evidence that Netanyahu knew what was going on. He wanted it to happen so that he could garner the support of his people. And it exactly happened just like that. The nation that was rising up against him week after week after week turned around and started refocusing. And Joe Biden, who refused to meet with him, the White House, who refused to meet with him, made a personal trip to Israel. Zelma said, this is critical information, Vicki, baby. I don't know who people be thinking I am. I think because I blow up other people that are scholars and people that speak well and other people that are famous and stuff, people think that I just be sitting over in the corner just like, oh, she must not know. No, fool. Any good mother ain't jealous of her child. She wants you to shine on stage, dummy. But when you start smelling yourself, I got to sit here and let this country girl bam the gavel on you and dog walk you spiritually and otherwise. Weirdo. Thought this was. The signs and wonders speak for my work, fool. I'm not intimidated about your greatness. Weirdo. I just be pretending to let you teach me something just to make you feel all right. Oh, really? Wow. Whoa, whoa. It don't take nothing from me to blow you up. But then when you start acting weird about who this is, baby, I got to turn the country on you. Got to turn around, be like, what? I was just playing, fool. I would just be playing with the mortals to be relatable. This glory might crush you. So I got to give it to you a little bit by little doses and stop. take you out. You're OD on me. So I got to come like country. I got to come bam together. I got to be laughing and giggling and stuff so you can handle it and stuff. Just was playing with y'all. And then you got to do this. Oh, what? Oh, okay. I ain't know that. Wow. That don't bother me. I don't suffer from low self-esteem. It's just when you go to acting weird, I got to be like, oh, hell no. And then I got to throw it out on. Then y'all be sitting there like, I didn't know she. Yeah. Yeah, didn't know. Didn't know. Just thought it was all hype when the people say they got miracles fooling with Vicki. Just thought it was all hype. Weirdo. Just playing with you, fool. I was just playing. Nut. Anyway, y'all hit that link. Get your seat for April 19th. I'm really pushing this. I was talking to my team in the meeting the other day, and everybody was tripping because they was like, Vicki, you literally made this up over the phone, gonna message us in the middle of the night saying, put the link up, do this, do that. We ain't got but 1 week. What if, child, I don't care. It's not about getting a zillion people there. I have to do what Spirit tells me to do. That's why it ain't but a week away. That's how this goes. The link is in the chat. Get your seat today, April 19th. Everybody knows that when I break it down, it's unmatched. It just be that. It just is. It just is. And it's spiritually sound is the point. And I want to give you insight, and I want to also seed some information to give you some things to think about so that we can come up with a spiritual solution for this. Yes, my name is Vicki Dillard, beloved. Thank you so much for tuning into my personal channel here at VickiDillard.tv. I am going to continue to call for the Congressional Black Caucus to be investigated over this. I want a full accounting of what they talk about. I want them under oath answering whether or not they pass sensitive information at a time when even the President of the United States refused to even take his call or meet with his funny-looking self. And at this point, because many believe that Netanyahu, based on the investigations that were done by certain agencies, is credible evidence to know that he knew what was going on about Hamas and that he actually is responsible for his own people being murdered. Should the ICC and the ICJ be looking into the Congressional Black Caucus about their conversations with Netanyahu? And a month later, voila, this big, essentially war breaks out. I'm going to call it a little war. 1 month after they twitch their hips over there to do for them what they haven't done for those that they supposed to be representing here in the United States. Did y'all catch that? There's other stuff I'm obviously not saying here on this platform. You better come to the thing so I can break it down further. But there is reason for me to believe that sensitive information was passed to the Congressional Black Caucus, the only little coons that would come see him when nobody else would. I want them investigated. I wanted them under oath. And why haven't we have a hearing? And why is it that the previous high-level government Israeli official who said that the threat to her country are foundational Black Americans, our babies, the youth? I want to know why we still sending billions of dollars when they see us as the enemy and when they were secretly plotting against us. We sit up here talking about anti-Semitism. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about anti-Blackness. We don't care about your religion. Black people are the most spiritual people on the planet. We don't even want to talk about your religion. Every time we talk about your racism, y'all want to switch to your religion. And we're not going to let you do that over here. You don't even talk to us about no anti-Semitism. We don't even want to talk about your religion. Cut out the religion. We want to talk about your racism. We want to talk about your anti-Blackness. And we want to talk about why our so-called top ally is targeting a large swath of the American citizens here in the United States and why nobody cares about it. And some of the very actors and agents that's involved in that situation is who RFK is rocking with. And Vicki Dillard, your sister with the curly braids, specifically confronted him about. But there's more. One way says, I love you back. The link is above or below. Go to my website at VickiPlanet.com. It's right there on the front of the website. Y'all know I'm going to break it down like it's nobody's business. Thank you for tuning in real quick on my personal channel. Don't forget you can watch me live, typically Tuesday through Thursday on African Diaspora News Channel, 2 p.m. Eastern live. I give national and international commentary there. I'm going to be doing a little bit more commentary here on my own platform from time to time, but I'm working behind the scenes. You can also join the Vicki Dillard Mystery School. That's my monthly mastermind school where every month you get a free lecture where I break down high-level spiritual universal principles. Also, my students get discounts, just like this event that's coming up. It's very cheap to join April 19th. It's very but $30-some, but my students still get a discount. Whenever I do a product or service, they're the first to either know about it or they get some special benefit. Sometimes I do bonuses. As soon as you join for a very, very low cost, they automatically get access to a whole year's worth of free lectures that I've done. I've got paid stuff too, but they get access immediately the moment they join. To an entire year's worth of free lectures. There's so many wonderful things that takes place in the Vicki Dillard Mystery School. All that you can find out about at VickiPlanet.com. Oh, and those of you that want to still get your angel calendars, what did I even do with it? Is it here? Yes. Beautiful archangel female calendars. How many of you all know that the male archangels, there are female counterparts it's not often talked about? Now, some of you all that believe in your Bible hard and strong. Yes, even your Bible with all of its corruption has a text that specifically refers to female angels. They want you to believe it's somebody else. See, that's the problem with it, but I'm gonna leave that alone. I use the Bible as a book of match. I ain't gonna be fussing about the problems with that. But anyway, family, this is my calendar. The first few pages, I give you the breakdown of who they are, what they are, and how you ritualize them. It doesn't matter the fact that the calendar started in February. You're buying the knowledge. I only put it in the calendar form to give you a tool to meditate on it. Why? Because when people want to know, Vicki, how did you have so many supernatural encounters, and how did you know some of the stuff that would take place in your life and the energies that are assisting you over many decades? I'm trying to give you the playbook of what I did. So every single month, you're going to have a name of a female angel. That's a part of the code, just knowing the name. The attributes, that means that's what you're going to be meditating on every month, as well as a sacred text so that you can see the activity of certain angels using spiritual principles. So if you get this like this month, right, April, all you're going to do is you're just going to double up on the angels for the past couple of months for that one day. You understand? I'm just giving it to you in a form to where you have it. It's essentially your own book. There are notes all in the back. And of course, I don't know who this is back there. Who is that back there and stuff? Who is that and stuff? Y'all, it's so wonderful. The imagery is just, y'all, I'm going to put this way back here. Just isn't it just glorious? Then the name, the attributes that you meditate on every day, the spiritual, it's just wonderful. It's just yummy. And watch this. Y'all know this is my gavel, right? I have many gavels. Somebody say many gavels. On my website, I pray over them. I put a special oil on it, enchanting oil. If you're not spiritual, then this ain't for you. But anyway, it's a mini gavel, but you can still put your whole hand on the mini gavel. I'm just putting it like this so that you can have an idea about the size. It's so wonderful. It's cherry wood. You can get all this at the website at VickiPlanet.com. Yes, for anybody that's interested. Yes. Beloved, thank you so much for tuning in. I will be back before, at least probably one day, maybe, inshallah, maybe live one more day before April 19th. Literally, I did this at the last minute, literally at the last minute. And my team was like, oh, MG, because I already got another one playing before this. But I have to do what Spirit tells me to do. This is not for me, baby. It ain't just about not having no large numbers. It's about who's supposed to be there is going to be there. And it's about me delivering what Spirit told me to do at a reasonable rate to where everybody can come. I do plenty of free stuff. There's some stuff I do paid, and some stuff is higher end. Some stuff is affordable, lower end. This is on the lower end. Yes. Thank you, dear brother Warren, for putting all my information in the chat. Y'all give a big shout out to our brother. That's his First Work Media, one of our beautiful moderators in the chat. He's always been a wonderful supporter of mine for years and years and years and years. Yes. He's always had my back. Damon, love you. Vicki keeps stomping, says, I love you back, precious. I love you back. I love all of you. Yes. Thank you all so much for tuning in. April 19th. Do not miss it. Make the investment in yourself. If you know the principle that people perish for lack of knowledge, if people perish for the lack of knowledge, what would they do when you have the right knowledge? How many of you all know that when you don't make the proper investments, you're not going to get the right outcomes in life? If you want something you never had, you got to do something you've never done. Yes. Lordy, 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 look at our beautiful queen. Her gorgeous skin is, look, I'm not, look, more. Y'all stop playing. I have to say it at the beginning, the end, somebody paying y'all. And I need to know who paying y'all so I can donate to their cash app. or they PayPal. Or if they want me to write a check, I'll do that too. Talk Black to be somebody. I love y'all so much. I bow to you. You are my bliss. Mwah. I can't wait to see you again.